Hello and welcome to another video. This one's a little bit different. I bought myself a steering wheel wrap. This is from Australia and took a little while to get here. It's probably maybe a couple of weeks because they're handmade. I think they custom make them. You send a photo of your steering wheel and you tell them what your make and model and all that stuff is. I did make a start yesterday on this with it still in the car. It says in the instructions it's not necessary to remove, but I was feeling, finding it really awkward just getting in and around everything, and I think doing this is going to give me a lot more control. So there's plenty of videos showing you how to remove the steering wheel. The main thing is that you, because you have to remove the airbag, that you disconnect your battery first. I have reconnected the battery so I could close my tailgate, being a wagon, so I just have to remember to disconnect it again before I reinstall this. But you can see at the back there's these little holes. They are for pushing a screwdriver or similar in, and that releases a little mechanism in here, and you can sort of feel it when you jiggle the screwdriver around, and you'll see your the center part of your steering wheel sort of come out, and that means it's been released. You just do one side and the other. So what I've done, the stage I've got to, is I've added bits of double-sided tape to the back. Once I'm happy with where it fits, the stitching in theory should all line up with the stitching that's on the steering wheel already. You don't remove the existing steering wheel cover. It's designed to go over that. So the hardest part, the other thing I've had to do is remove a screw. So yeah, obviously this is my BMW F31, which would be the same on all the F3X models. There's a little screw here which has just released the cover here a little bit, the steering wheel part of the plastic cover. So it's just opened it up and meant that I can slip both of these in under here. And so really I'm at a stage where I'm sort of happy. Well, yeah, I'm as happy as I can be with the way it's fitting. The hardest part is going to be on some of these plastic bits, is actually getting them up enough to slip the leather in. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I could probably start disassembling the steering wheel, but I'm pretty sure there's another way. And you can watch videos of different cars on the steering wheel wraps website. Wrap your mouth around that sentence. Steering wheel wraps website. But there isn't one that covers BMW. I think there's one for a Toyota and one for a Subaru. And it looks really easy, as it always does in instructional videos, with lifting the edges here. They do provide a little plastic tool, non-marring tool for that. Also in the kit came the thread and the needles and double-sided tape and a little thimble thingy so that you don't stick the blunt end of the needle into your thumb. See how we go with that. Hopefully I won't get blood all over the new steering wheel. Alright, so there's only one thing for it really, and that's to thread up a needle and start stitching. So I never thought I'd be doing this over Easter. Happy Easter everybody. In case you're wondering, this is my art studio too. I'll just zoom out a bit there. So oh, it's quite slow at zooming, isn't it? So I'm an artist, been painting for nearly 30 years, and I'm also a carpet installer is my trade. So it's quite a good combination really, because when art's not selling, I've got my carpet trade to back me up, which is really good, and teaches you, well, a bit past being taught now. I've sort of learnt good skills from having a trade, and hopefully I apply some of that trade thinking to doing this sort of thing. Ooh. Okay, so I've made a start. I don't know how well you can see this, but yeah, it doesn't exactly look like it does in their video. Oh, it's not too bad. A lot of what you can see there will hopefully be tucked away if I can get it in under the plastic that's there. So I'm just stitching all the way around to here. There's probably about 3,679 stitches, something like that. No, not that many, but I'll just push on and see how it goes. Okay, I think the idea with doing this, I'll just zoom in. I've got a little remote here, which is quite good. The idea with doing this is that you just do a few stitches. It's coming along quite nicely. It's going to be an absolute pain when it comes to tucking it in to these plastic trims, but we'll figure that out, like we're figuring this out. But I think the idea is just to make sure that you do a few stitches and then go and have a break. So I've got a coffee brewing and I can hear it and it's ready. So I'm going to go have a coffee and just do a few stitches at a time, and you sort of enjoy it a little bit more that way. You're not in such a rush. Alright, so I got my coffee. Oh, look at that. For a hearty brew. That's straight from the mocha pot. A bit of frothy milk. Right, so I'll carry on doing a few more stitches. You get into a rhythm, so when you're going into the first stitch on the inside, or the back of the steering wheel, I guess depending on which way you're facing. I've got it facing towards me because that's what I'm going to be looking at, so when I'm in the car obviously. You'll be able to see it a little bit from through the windscreen, the back of the steering wheel, but obviously the face is the most important part. So you come through from behind and then go through the first loop and then back up through the next loop. Keep a little bit of tension on the thread. Oops. And then hand back around and pull it tight, and giving the seam a little bit of a squeeze together at the same time, because I don't want to snap the thread. The thread is doubled, so I doubled it over, put a knot in the end before I started, and then repeat, go back, find the next loop, back up. Okay, little update. Zooming in. It's really handy. It's actually a mount that I don't really use, but it's Bluetoothed to my camera. So I don't know how well you can see this, but I kind of stuffed up. Stitching's not that great. Oh, it looks like I missed a loop there. Stitching's terrible. Yeah, I think I'm fired. But anyway, I ran out of thread here, so I sort of had to tie it off and tie it around what I'd already done and rethread it. So, non-pro tip, make sure you've got plenty of thread. It's a real pain because you've got so much thread to contend with. Somehow I got a knot in it. I must have looped it around and pulled it tight, but it's alright because the knot pulls through these loops. Yeah, and I just noticed that I'd missed one. So that's my signature. If you see one of these steering wheels and there's a missing loop, that's because that's my signature. So I'll do that every time now. So yeah, it's going okay. Quite a way around. It's looking nice and tight, as it should. It's got that nice matte leather. So yeah, little update there, and I'll carry on. Alright, bit more progress. It's definitely not easy if you don't have a lot of patience and the ability to walk away and come back to things, and I'm borderline. I maintain that patience is learned. It's definitely not something that you can just instantly have. I think maybe some people are better at it than others. I've always been told I'm patient, but yeah, like I say, it's learned. Let me zoom in a bit, and I'll show you what looks good first. So I've sort of finished that bit around there, tucked it in, managed to tuck it in at the back. Not easy, but you just have to be quite sort of brutal with it. I've stitched all the way around to this side, and so now I have to finish that stitching and tie it off and try and get this part and on the back tucked in under the trim. It's a little bit bunched up here, but it's not too bad. Not quite sure how you avoid that, because it's perfect on this side. Maybe it's stretched a bit as I've gone around, I'm not too sure, but it's definitely a bit fuller here than what it is here. But I might be able to just manipulate that a little bit by pulling that around, and we'll see how we go. It's not too far off, so I think it'll work out. I've got this the sense of failure with doing it, and I think I need to stop focusing that way and focus the other way, that it's going to be okay, and that it's me putting it on and I'm not a professional. Cost, it was $200 New Zealand, so what's that? If you're in the UK, it's about 100 quid, and that includes postage from memory and tax, and then obviously your time to do it. So whether you think that's worthwhile, or you just want to put up with your old steering wheel, or you want to send your steering wheel to a trimmer, I would probably opt for option 3. Was that option 3? Would be to take your steering wheel into an automotive trimmer, and then if you've got, especially if you've got another vehicle, it's a bit hard to drive without a steering wheel. It's kind of why I want to get this finished. I've got my old work van, but yeah, I want to get it back in my car so I can use my car. So if you've got another vehicle, I would recommend that you just take your steering wheel off and take it into a motor trimmer. Alright, so yeah, made a little bit of progress. I've zoom in on the steering wheel a bit here. Managed to tuck in both sides here. The back is really hard. You just don't think it's gonna go in there. There's absolutely no give, and I haven't worked out a way of releasing, apart from pulling all the trim off the steering wheel and taking bits off, which you could do. I think there might be special screws to undo some bits though. Really weird looking. I don't even know what they are. BMW special screws. So yeah, tucking it in here is the hardest part. So it's not looking too bad. It's a little bit puckered in here. The stitching's a bit dodgy, and there's the stitch that I missed. But like I say, that's my trademark now. So it's Bryce Brown original. Every time you see one of these with a missing stitch at the top, you know it was me. Right, I'm back. Probably didn't go very long for you, but it's been a couple of hours, and I had a bit of brekkie and all that good stuff. So I've made some quite good progress. We've got the bottom of the steering wheel. So we're finished right around to here. Everything's all tucked in at the back. Zoom in on here for you. Zooming, zooming, zooming. Zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased actually. It's not, once again, it's not 100% perfect. There's a couple of little puckers in that here and there. Stitching's not too bad. There's a couple of spots where the edges don't quite pull together, and I don't really know why. They should, but I did notice when I was sort of trial fitting it and testing different bits that they weren't quite meeting. That could just be a manufacturer's error. They are handmade, I think. And you can see, I'm not sure if you can see in this light, got quite a lot of light in here, but you can see it sort of pulled in here a wee bit. Not quite sure why, but yeah, like I was explaining before, it's probably to do with the way it stretches down to the end here as you're working from one end to the other. So I'll carry on with this section here. I'm not too far away from finishing. Whew. Well, there you have it. It's 12:42. What's that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably 5 hours to wrap a steering wheel. It is all done. I'll bring it over and show you. Hang on. I'll zoom in because I can. And here we go. It's not too bad. Is it the right way around? No. I might be able to show it to you a bit better once it's in the car. But yeah, it's come up pretty good really. Professional could definitely do better, but this is the first time I've ever done one of these, so feels really nice, and that was the point. It looks quite cool too because it's slightly chunkier, so it actually makes the wheel strangely look a bit smaller, I guess because the inside diameter's slightly reduced. I don't know. It's not overly chunky. Still feels, actually it feels slightly better width, so I'll get it back in the car. Okay, as you can see, it's a pretty average, I was going to use a different word then, Easter weekend here in the Bay of Plenty of New Zealand. In fact, the whole of New Zealand's had the tail end of a tropical cyclone, which has been a bit devastating in a couple of places. Fortunately not too bad here, but it's been a good day to do a steering wheel. So and the flies, I won't start about the flies. So this is what it looks like in the car. It's not too bad. This is a bit of a work of art over here. I'm not quite sure what happened here. But I would recommend, if you were going to do one of these, if you're crazy enough, to don't use blue thread. It would look cool if it was absolutely perfect, but it's going to show everything up. So I would recommend that you just go really plain and use a black thread, and you probably couldn't go too far wrong then. Black and black, all black thread. But apart from that, it's a really nice finish. The leather is fantastic. See if I'm completely zoomed out here. Yes, I am. So yeah, would I recommend it? If you're an extremely patient person and you've got a half a day to do it, give it a crack. Anything I would do differently? Yeah, like I say, I probably wouldn't use the blue thread. Looks quite nice if it's perfect, but if it's not, then it's going to show every little imperfection. So you go for something dark, just black. And price wise, you know, a handcrafted piece of leather, ready to install, $200 delivered. Yeah, not too bad. Could I live without it? Yeah, probably. but I could just never get the shine off my old steering wheel, and you know, the rest of the car is actually pretty good. It's all nice Alcantara, which is really why I went for the blue trim, because the Alcantara is all trimmed in blue. So yeah, it's going to be much nicer driving with it. So anyway, that's it, all done, and I hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit different for me, not a car story, just a bit of a me doing something on my own car for a change. So yeah, we'll see you in another video soon. Thanks for subscribing if you haven't. Please consider it. If you enjoyed the video, or if you've got any feedback or questions, drop them below, and we'll see you in another video soon. Bye.